it would be unprecedented in modern American presidential history for the two candidates who are running to only engage in one debate. So we believe that the American people deserve to see that.
A few moments later.
The problem with another debate is that it's just too late. Voting has already started. She's had her chance to do it with Fox. You know, Fox invited us on, and I waited, and they turned it down. But now she wants to do a debate right before the election with CNN because she's losing badly.
When you raise more than $500 million and you're still not ahead in these battleground states like Kamala Harris, the only moves you have left are moves of desperation, which is why today she made a couple of desperate moves that we're going to talk about in this video, starting with the announcement of the third debate that she accepted from CNN.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I mean, listen, I think we've been very clear since the debate on September 10th that the American people deserve to see what they saw on that debate stage once again before they cast their ballots on October 23rd in Atlanta. And listen, it would be unprecedented in modern American presidential history for the two candidates who are running to only engage in one debate. So we believe that the American people deserve to see that. Donald Trump himself has said, he said many things when it comes to debates, but he's famously said he's willing to debate anytime, anywhere, any place. He thinks he won both debates. So he should have no problem showing up to show off his prowess once again on the debate stage. And we think that's what the American people deserve to see. There have been more updates since the last debate, right? As the American people begin to tune in and understand the stakes of this election. We see it playing out in states like Georgia, where we have the first confirmed preventable death due to Donald Trump's abortion ban. So there are still questions that the American people have for these candidates that they want to see us debate on the debate stage. And so Donald Trump is willing to show up on October 23rd. That's what the American people will see.
All right. So that was her campaign director for communications. And they have a funny way of communicating because the part that he left out was that she declined the Fox News debate. She declined the CBS debate. She declined the NBC debate. So if she thinks this is a unprecedented time and that the country needs to hear from her on the debate stage more than once, why didn't they accept the Fox debate? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because they know she will be held accountable in a fair way. Now, listen, we already know that these corporate media channels, they all have a bias. We know that Fox News is definitely biased for Trump. ABC is definitely biased for Kamala Harris. So why don't we do something that no one really wants to do? We'll take Sean Hannity from Fox News, and she can take Dana Bash from CNN, and we'll have a separate debate that has no affiliation with these corporate media channels. That way, both candidates can get fact-checked at the same time or have moderators that follow up with questions. That way, nobody feels anybody was treated differently. I mean, isn't that somewhat of common sense if they want to go there with how biased Fox News is? But of course, she'll get eaten up if she goes that route, which is why she's accepting CNN. Now, why did she accept CNN? Let's remember, CNN got a lot of backlash for being fair and doing what we all want them to do. Just stay out of it. Let the candidates debate each other, not the moderators. Well, as a result, ABC responded to that, and they hosted the worst debate that we've seen in history. So if you think for a second that it's smart for Trump to go back to CNN and they're going to treat him the same way, I don't believe he could trust them one bit. And then the second thing is about the Trump abortion ban, which they're continuing to push this lie about abortion and what happened to this woman in Georgia, because they know that's all they have to get people to show up to vote. Remember, the Democrats' playbook is what? Identity politics. They need to trigger people emotionally in a way that gets them to show up and vote. And their way of doing it is always based on race, gender, and now what they're using is abortion. So they're using the term abortion to get people to show up and vote against Trump. This is why they say Trump's going to monitor your cycles as a woman. No, he's not. That's ridiculous, okay? Now, that's my response to this ridiculous request for a third debate because we know she's desperate. Let's hear what Trump had to say.
Kamala and her group have seen what's happening to their campaign, and it's not going well for them. And they would like, just announced a little while ago as I was coming off the plane, they would like to do another debate. Although, good entertainment value. A lot of people say, oh, do it, it's great entertainment. I've already done two. One with Crooked Joe Biden at CNN, and the other one with Kamala on ABC. CNN was very fair, I thought. Joe was driven out of the race. It was a coup, by the way, but he was driven out of the race. And they've been widely criticized by the radical left lunatics for all of the fairness. They were very fair. In other words, they won't be fair again because they took a lot of abuse from the radical left. ABC was 3-on-1, but I was given credit for having done a very, very good job. I appreciate that. We did a great job. It was 3-on-1. The problem with another debate is that it's just too late. Voting has already started. She's had her chance to do it with Fox. You know, Fox invited us on, and I waited, and they turned it down. But now she wants to do a debate right before the election with CNN because she's losing badly. You know, it's like a fighter. She sees the pulse. She sees what's happening. She's losing badly, but it's like a fighter who goes into the ring and gets knocked out. The first thing he says is, I want a rematch. I want a rematch.
There are two solid points from Trump. Number one, he's already done two debates as a presidential candidate, one against Joe Biden and one from Kamala Harris. He doesn't owe these media companies anything, and he doesn't owe her another debate. Because at the end of the day, who needs this debate more, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? I'm of the opinion Kamala Harris needs this debate because people want to know more from her. People don't need to know anything else from Donald Trump. It doesn't matter how perfectly he shows up in that debate. He's going to get the votes that he's getting already. It's on her to sell those undecided voters, not really on Trump. Because based on the polling right now, he would win the next election because he's going to overperform at least by 1%, if not 2 percentage points. So in all reality, he doesn't really need to go get any more votes. He just needs to make sure that everyone who says they're going to vote for Trump, that they actually show up and vote. Now, I've been saying this recently, it's on the Democrats. They put themselves in this position. They put in a last minute candidate. They were so focused on Donald Trump, they forgot to take care of their own party and prepare a proper candidate for this election cycle, which is why you had the whole Joe Biden coup that took place, because they were too busy with Trump and not with Joe Biden. And obviously he got a little carried away and thought he was going to be able to run again. I truly believe as a retaliation for having a coup staged on him, he endorsed Kamala Harris. So imagine being a Democrat or part of one of the elites overstepping that endorsement and doing an open convention. That wouldn't look good because this is the party of identity politics. There's no way they could have explained that. So they are where they are. They put themselves in this position. Now, the other part of this is the corporate media. They put themselves in a position where they have lost all credibility because of the bias that they hold for Donald Trump, the hatred that they have for him. And as a result, you see a declining corporate media and an uprising of independent journalism. Now, Fox Business host Maria, who has that show Mornings with Maria, I thought that she explained why the media is so biased against Trump. Watch this.
Yeah, I mean, in the last 10 years, I guess part of the issue, Donald Trump came on the scene and was polarizing to so many people that they went crazy. And I think that there's a small cabal who hate him so much and have convinced their constituents, media, academia, whoever else you talk, Hollywood, that, and I saw that as being incredible unfairness. Mm-hmm. And I called it out. And, that was one thing that I think the mainstream media that happened. Donald Trump happened to them. And they don't want to report on him fairly.
They refuse.
Yeah.
They refuse, and they get away with it. Yeah. I think that's the worst part, is when the bosses, the leadership allows it and it's intentional. It's so funny. I used to laugh at the TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome, that people talked about. And I'm like, oh, this is real. People can't handle it.
And I wonder why. Yeah. I think it's because he exposes their corruption, some people's corruption. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't care about talking about it, and they see him as dangerous.
And that's what hatred will do for you. This is why I always tell you guys, I don't wake up in the morning and actually hate Kamala Harris or hate Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi, because it's poison at the end of the day. And it makes you take your eye off the ball. That's the mistake the Democrats and the media have committed. They've taken their eye off the ball. That ball is what actually matters to everyday Americans. They're more focused on defeating Trump than actually giving Americans value and improving their lives. The corporate media does not improve the lives of the American people anymore. They care more about making money, and Donald Trump makes them money. It's literally the only thing keeping them alive. That's what it's always about, is money. It's no longer about the truth. And so if they can make money treating Trump the way that they are, they're going to continue to do it. But what I find funny is Kamala Harris is talking so much crap about Donald Trump, but she turns down the Fox News debate. And now she's turning down the Alfred Smith Memorial Foundation dinner. Now, if you're like me, you don't even know what that means. Let me tell you what it means. It's a traditional dinner that all presidential candidates attend in order to fundraise. This goes all the way back to 1945. She'll be the first presidential candidate to skip this dinner. Now you might ask, why would she skip this dinner? Because each candidate gets to speak and talk about the other candidate in a way that you can professionally roast them, in a sense. And obviously, Kamala Harris is the leader of being politically correct. Of course, she won't be able to put up with such a roast from Donald Trump. And if you need a refresher on why she's avoiding this dinner, because what could potentially happen to her, let's go back when Trump and Hilary Clinton was at that dinner. Watch this.
With all of the heated back and forth between my opponent and me at the debate last night, we have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me." And I very politely replied, "Let me talk to you about that after I get into office."
So as I started this video with, yeah, when you've raised all this money and you got everyone in Hollywood, you got all of the celebrities in the entertainment industry, you got the whole corporate media behind you, you've used every single trick in the book, and Donald Trump still has an advantage to win the presidency, I would probably get a little desperate too. So by trying to do this second debate with Trump on CNN, it's a desperate move, because if you were really about that type of smoke, why didn't you do it with Fox News? Or if you really cared about the American people, why not do it on an independent news channel like News Nation? Why not do something like that? Or why don't you get Joe Rogan involved, or some type of independent journalist who has a big name, Megyn Kelly? Why not do that? If you're that serious about the American people wanting to get answers from your candidate, or to sell the American people that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, if that is so true, why wouldn't you agree to that debate? And of course, because you are desperate, you would also skip this type of dinner because you know you're going to get roasted. And I don't think she could take it. And we saw what these black voters said in Georgia about her, and I thought they were spot on. If you compare her to Hillary Clinton, Condoleezza Rice, or Michelle Obama, there is no comparison. They would eat her up for lunch for a reason. They have confidence as a politician. They can get a little dirty, right? They can go off script. She can't. So it makes sense why she'd skip this dinner. They're desperate. They're clinging on to anything that they can to get this election in her favor. This is why she tried to leverage the platform of Oprah. Clearly that blew up in her face. That didn't convince any undecided voter whatsoever, just like the debate did not convince undecided voters. She's back where she's always been, a candidate that is truly not likable. You have to understand something. The only reason why people are voting for her in the first place, or even tolerating this, is because they don't have a choice. They would rather vote for her than to vote for Trump. It's more about not voting for Trump than it is about, I really love Kamala Harris and what she stands for. Because let's be real, guys, she's not President Obama, okay? She's not. And if she was, the polls would show that. She'd be over 50%. She's not. That's my opinion about this. What do you guys think about these desperate moves that dropped today from her campaign? They're asking for another debate with Trump. We already know how the media feels about him. We know that he shouldn't take this debate. I am of the belief they would do another debate, but I don't think it should be on CNN. Where do you think that third debate should be if Trump was going to do it? I'd really like to know what you guys think about that. And why is she skipping that dinner? A fundraising dinner for her to make more money, right, for her campaign. Why would she skip it? Because she doesn't want to get roasted? I mean, I really want to know. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out the video today. Stay grateful, stay focused, and stay true. Peace.